Hello! A lot of people have asked me how to stay abreast of the scientific literature as new journal papers are coming out all the time. So what I used to do, say 10 years ago, was I used to subscribe to all the journal emailed tables of contents for the journals that I like to read. The problem with that is they're not sorted in any way. They come just at odd times. They're cluttering my email inbox, and I sometimes can't remember the particular paper in one of those table of contents emails that I thought at the time I wanted to go back to. So what I'm going to be discussing here is how to set up an RSS Feed Reader for keeping up with journal publications. RSS stands for Rich Site Summary. And what you'll see using a service like this, you'll have something that's analogous and parallel to your email, but you'll keep direct papers you want to go back to with links to them and have direct access to their abstracts. The service I'll be showing you here is called Feedly, and I'll show you why I like that service in particular. So let me move out of this, and I'm going to go to a Gmail account. I'm going to assume that most people have a Gmail account or something analogous. So this is a made-up Gmail account that I just created a little while ago just for reference. So imagine that you have your Gmail and you've logged in as normal, so this is just a made-up account. You open a new window and go to this site, feedly.com. Okay, feedly.com. Type that in. There you go. Welcome to your news feed. So obviously the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click Get Started. So we'll do that. And you have the option for continuing either through Google or through Facebook. If you'd rather do it through your Facebook account, that's fine. I think there's some advantages of doing it through your Gmail if you happen to have one, if you have a Google account. So we'll go ahead and do that. And it will log me in through this particular account. So I have to allow access to it. It doesn't send you any email, just so you know. It's not going to do anything like that. It's just to make it so you now log in to get to Feedly using your Gmail login. So I'll click Allow. And boom, I'm in. So now I have the Feedly account. What I need to do is identify the tables of contents that I want to get sent to this using that RSS mechanism. So I'm going to use two examples here. Let me open a new window. Let's start with Nature. A lot of people like Nature magazine. So here's nature.com for this particular week. Now, there's a lot of stuff on this site. It's sometimes hard to find how you sign up for an RSS feed. So what I do is just go to the Find block here and type RSS. And there it is there at the bottom. In kind of small print there, you see it says RSS web feeds. So you click on that. Now I have the choice here for a bunch of different things. So this is the whole Nature Publishing group set of things. I can sign up for the Nature issues. Every time one is released, I can then get that table of contents. The advanced online publication, various other things, various other journals. I'm going to use just the standard issue as an example. And it takes me to this site which has a couple of things on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top. I'm just going to copy this URL. So it's feeds.nature.com/nature/RSS/current. So I'm copying that. I'm going to go back to Feedly and I'll just paste this right into there. So this is telling me that I want to subscribe to that feed. Okay. There we go. We have it in there. I click this plus Feedly, which then now adds it. So I'm going to add it to a new collection I'm going to call Journals, because I also happen to use my Feedly account for things that are not necessarily for work. So there we go. So I have a title called Nature, and it's under Collection Journals. Add. And boom, we have it added in here now. I'll come back to how to use it in just a second. Let's add a second one so you can actually see better what's going on. So let's say that in addition to Nature, I also want the journal Genetics. So I'll go to genetics.org. I'll do my little find RSS again. And there it is. In this case, it's on the left-hand column, RSS feeds. Click on that. Let's say I want to get the current issue only. I don't necessarily want the early online article, so I click on that. And here's that same sort of format. The URL for these things often ends with an XML, because that's the format that these things are delivered to the RSS reader. So I'll copy that, go back over here to my Feedly, okay, and what I want to do is I want to add content, so I go over here to the side, add content, and I'll paste in this one, Genetics Current Issue, and check plus Feedly. So I'm adding now Genetics Current Issue, and yes, I want this under the collection Journals. Add. Boom. So it's now added. So now if you want to look at this, let's say for example I just woke up, it's Saturday morning, Sunday morning, whatever. I click on my all, because this is where I want to see what's new, and I see I have a set of papers here in Nature and a set of papers here in Genetics. Now I should tell you, it initially populates it with a set of say like 10 to 20 of the most recent articles. After this point, it will populate only with new articles as they're released. So now here's the full set, and I can just scan through this fairly quickly and see are any of these things I want to read. Nature 1500 years ago, don't know about that, don't know. Oh, this one looks interesting. You can click on it, and look at this. it expands it out, I can see the authors, and I can actually see the abstract, which is a very, very nice way of looking at this. And let's say, for example, I don't really care about the diurnal cycle of water ice on Comet 67P. No offense to the author. Go down a little bit more, make academic job advertisements, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, this actually happens to be on something I work on. The pace of hybrid incompatibility evolution in house mice. I look at this one. Oh, it's by somebody I've even heard of, Brett Pacer. The abstract looks very interesting. So let's say this is an article I want to come back to. What I can do right now is I can click this little thing right here, this little, looks like a little note thing that you would put on the corner of a piece of paper. What this is doing now is this is saving this for later. So this means I want to come back and look at this article a little bit later on. Go on to the rest. Okay, the rest aren't things I particularly want to read about. So when I'm done, I come over to this thing here at the top and just say mark all as read. Yes, mark as read. Okay, so now I'm done. I've basically cleared through the set of papers I want to look at. But I'd saved one I wanted to go look at, right? So I go back to this right here, save for later, and here's the one I'd seen before that I'd saved. You can click in there. Here's the full thing. And let's say I think this is really interesting. I can click this little mail icon, and I can send an email now to, say, my graduate students and say, hey, gradstudent@gmail.com, read this. Very interesting. And send. Actually, I don't want to actually do it because I don't actually have a grad student with that email address, obviously. I can share it on Twitter or Facebook, and if I want to actually read the paper, what do? I just click right there at the top, and boom, it takes me directly to the paper. So there we go. Now I'm actually at the journal site. I can pull up the full text, the PDF, all those good things. When I'm done with it, let's say, for example, I've read it, and I no longer want it saved in my save for later, I can just unsave it, hide, gone. Now I have nothing saved, and I'm good. So this is an easy way of keeping up with the literature. Let me show you now. I'm going to switch over here to my account on this side over here. So this is, oops, let me go back to the top here. So this is the ones I have for this morning, and you see I have 3 journal ones here from the journal Ecology and Evolution, which just got published fairly recently. You see, like 43 minutes ago, 9 hours ago. And there's 2 here that are more social. This is for the site iMore, which tells you things about iOS devices. So this is nice where you know, again, I've just seen this is the set that just got published. If I don't want to read any of them, I just click my check, and boom. It goes away, it grays out, my all has a 0 on it. Now, hypothetically, let's say that I vaguely remembered, there was a paper I wanted to see from Molecular Biology and Evolution that got published about 5 days ago, but I didn't actually save it. Well, these things are all here now, so I can go to the journal Molecular Biology and Evolution, and it was something on horizontal gene transfer. So I look at this, oh look, here's the most recent issue, I can scroll down, where was that horizontal gene transfer paper? Don't see it, don't see it, don't see it. I'm just scrolling on down. I think there was a horizontal gene transfer paper. Okay, bad example. But anyway, I thought there was one, but maybe actually I misremembered that there was such a thing. Anyway, the point of this is you can actually go down to and see like older papers that have been identified. And maybe, for example, you might say, hey, I actually want to go back and read this one. I'm going to go ahead and add this to my saved list, or I want to put it into Evernote, or or something like that. So these are things you can do. Now, one thing, if you're interested, you can actually enable a search feature. You can enable a search feature here. Now, if you want to do this, it is no longer a free service. If you want to actually be able to search for some particular text in the abstract, things like that, you have to pay, I think it's $3.99 a month or something along those lines for Feedly. But it potentially is worth it. Even if you don't do it, this is still a very valuable service without it. The other thing which is really important about Feedly is it has mobile apps as well. So if you're on the go, you're sitting on the bus or something like that, you can pull up on your iPhone your Feedly app and just look and see if there are any new articles I need to save to make sure that I'm interested in. And if so, you can put the little save for later icon on them and come back to those. You can click directly from there to the paper if you want to take a quick look at the paper itself. What's really nice about this is it's just very organized, as you can see over here. It's very easy to go from just a list of titles very quickly to just the ones I want to keep. So let's say, for example, I want to keep this one. Save it, and now that is saved, and that's all I have to look at again. And it's much nicer than just having it amidst all your email, because now you just have this saved for later set that you want to see. Okay, well, I hope this was helpful. Let me know.